Hey everyone, welcome back to Suchi Answer Real Estate. So I realized that the majority of my videos have been geared more towards the buyer rather than the seller. So today's video is going to be more for the seller. So of course, if you're a seller, what is your goal? Your goal is to sell your house for maximum value, and that'll earn you the maximum profit for your home. But the question is, what will help increase the value of my house cheaply? Of course, in order to make money, you have to spend money. But I'm gonna list some of the things that'll help increase the value of your home significantly at low cost. So let's start from the outside to the inside. So on the outside, the most important thing is curb appeal. Simply put, curb appeal is how attractive your house looks on the outside to people. People know that first impressions mean a lot. First impressions have a lasting impact in the mind of the buyers. So what is the first thing that a buyer sees? It's the outside of the house. If you were going to buy a house yourself, which I presume you will be since you are selling your house, would you rather buy a house that is well maintained and looked after? Or would you rather buy a house that looks run down and not taken care of? Of course, you would pick the house that is taken care of. This has a huge mental effect in the buyer's mind when they decide which home they want to purchase and when they value the home in their head. And increasing curb appeal can cost little to no money. You can simply just mow your grass, pick out the weeds from your lawn, maybe apply a fresh coat of paint to like your door, your garage door, wipe your windows clean with Windex. And if you enjoy gardening, that might be another really good thing to increase curb appeal. You can add some flowers to the front of your porch. So now let's move to the inside of the house. One of the most important locations in the house, which a lot of people think is the heart of the house, is the kitchen. The kitchen is one of the most highly trafficked areas in a home. So this becomes a very important factor in a buyer's decision when they do decide on which property they want to purchase. People love stainless steel. Stainless steel is one of the most popular materials for appliances. The value in a buyer's mind between a plastic, one of those black or white plastic fridges and stoves, compared to a stainless steel fridge or stove, even if it's not like an expensive name brand stainless steel appliance, it still increases the value tremendously. Buyers want stainless steel, so you give it to them. You can get new appliances for a kitchen for like $2,000 to $4,000 if it's not really brand name, and it can increase the value of a home by $10,000 to $20,000. And like everything else that I will mention in this video, it's not an objective value that is increasing, so the actual worth of the home, but the subjective value, which is the price that people put on a property, and pretty much is how much they deem the property to be worth. People would rather buy a ready-to-move-in home rather than a less renovated home that needs a little bit of work. And you'll see that actually the less renovated home, okay, it takes some work to renovate it and buy the materials, but overall it's gonna actually be cheaper than you fighting other buyers for the more ready-to-move-in home. Another super important factor is lighting. Lighting is key towards the value of a home and how impressed a buyer can be when they walk into the property. A well-lit property is worth a lot more than a dark property. A well-lit property in the minds of a buyer is more well taken care of and seems cleaner, even though it might not actually be cleaner, and thus it would increase the subjective value in the buyer's mind. Lighting can also be very attractive to the eye, and it could be one of the first impressions when a buyer walks into the home. It's actually not too expensive to change the lighting in older homes from maybe one of like those chandeliers that are hanging from the ceiling into like pot lights. LED white pot lights are amazing. They can cost anywhere from $100 to $200 per pot light for a professional electrician to wire into your home. So in total, it might cost a couple $1,000s, but at the end of the day, it is definitely worth it. With the proper lighting in your home, you're gonna see your home sell dramatically quicker and for a lot more. Another thing you can do to increase the value of your home on the inside is to clean your house. Declutter your house. You don't know how important it is for a buyer to walk in and leave a good first impression with a clean and decluttered house. A decluttered house means more room. When the buyer walks in, they're gonna see that the house is a lot more spacious rather than when you have a home that has a lot of clutter all over the place. It's a mess. Looks like you can barely move. You have to like tippy-toe around books. All these little impressions that you give to the buyer, it really changes their subjective value in their minds. And when a home does have more room, it allows the buyer to imagine. They can imagine what their dream house would look like if they did move in. They bought the furniture, they could put the furniture here, the TV there, and all these little things, they really add up. Paint is also really important. Paint not only helps brighten up and lightens the room, but a fresh coat of paint on the inside of a room can make the room look bigger, it can make the room look cleaner and more desirable for a buyer to live in. I would highly recommend a white coat of paint because if you do go for a colorful coat of paint, it might not be to everybody's liking. Like if you like red and you paint your walls red but the buyer doesn't like red, you could just lose a potential buyer there. A fresh coat of white paint will help appeal to a wide range of buyers instead of a specific niche that likes that specific color. So this last thing that can help increase the value of the home might not be applicable to all homes, but it is a very important factor. And that factor is air conditioning. Everyone wants air conditioning. The difference between air conditioning and not having air conditioning in an older property is significant. This is because buyers look for air conditioning when they filter out their home options. So when you don't have air conditioning, a lot of buyers will be out of reach. To buy and install air conditioning into your home would usually only cost around $2,000 to $6,000 depending on how big you want the unit to be, depending on like the size of your house. And the air conditioning itself can exponentially increase the value of your home to buyers. I see a lot of older townhouses and homes that actually do not have air conditioning and they're priced over $50,000 less than a similar home or property that has air conditioning. And when I think about it, I'm like, wow, that's crazy, because I can just buy the home without air conditioning, add air conditioning for like $6,000, and the value of my home will increase exponentially. Like for example, last month I was helping one of my clients look for townhouses in Brampton. There were older townhouses that actually didn't have air conditioning, and they were priced at around $470,000 to $500,000. And when I was looking at different complexes that have actually the same home designs on the outside and the inside, except that one included air conditioning, the prices were around $550,000. So honestly, the price of homes, they're not really objective, they're more subjective to the buyer. You have to make the buyer think the house is worth more than it actually is by appealing to them and by making your home stick in their minds. So that's all that I have to say today in my video. I hope that was really helpful if you were thinking about selling your home. Currently, because of the current situation, there's actually a lack of listings. That means there are not a lot of houses up for sale. And since supply is low, but demand is still high, home prices are going up. So it's a really good time to sell right now. So if you are interested in buying and you need any advice with selling your home, how to increase the value of your home so you can make the most money out of your home, feel free to contact me and I'll respond to your messages. You can go to my website. There is a sell your home page where you can enter in your address and then I will reply with a free market evaluation as soon as possible. If you liked the video, please like and subscribe.